Web design is moving faster than ever. Google just joined the game with Stitch Web AI and it's changing everything right now. The only question, can you turn that AI draft into a revenue-ready WordPress site before your coffee gets cold? In this video, I will walk you through how to turn a Stitch AI layout into Elementor in 5 clicks. Hello everyone, I am Trupti from Posamit. In today's video, we're going to take a design created using Google Stitch AI and bring it to life in Elementor. I started by entering a prompt into Stitch AI and it generated a clean, modern design for us. To make the process even smoother, we'll be using the UiChemy plugin. First, click the Copy to Figma button to bring the design into your Figma file. As you can see, the design is in auto layout, which is great, but it has some extra frames that aren't really needed. These can turn into unnecessary containers in Elementor and slow down your site. So, either clean them up manually or let UiChemy handle it during the export process. I think there's a small issue with Google Stitch AI. We got a bit of a cluttered section, but that's okay. I'll show you how to fix it. Here, this section isn't using auto layout, so just click auto layout, align it to the bottom left, and add some padding. Stitch AI is still in its early stages, so the design output will improve over time. Most of the time, we need to fix alignment issues. Once those are sorted, the design looks pixel perfect. This section looks left aligned in Figma, and it'll stay that way when exported to Elementor. Elementor is sensitive to alignment, especially on wider screens, so it's best to fix it here. Just click on Center Aligned wherever you find left aligned or misaligned sections. It's a quick fix that makes a big difference. Here, you can go through the design structure and spot a few unnecessary frames that we're going to remove. But before deleting anything, make sure to check the frame. Direction removing frames blindly can mess up the layout if the direction changes. Right now, I'm going through each section, clicking on it to check the layout direction, frames width, and whether wrap is applied or not. Some designers prefer using wrap, while others don't. It really comes down to personal preference. You can either leave it as it is and adjust it later in Elementor, or go ahead and remove it directly in Figma. We've also fixed a few alignment issues along the way. Let's start with the header. We can lock the logo if needed. It'll be converted into an image anyway. Sometimes we need to adjust the width setting based on the layout, either fill container, fixed width, or hug content. In this case, we're setting it to hug contents since there's no need for it to span the full width. Now let's move on to the buttons. These are inside nested frames that we don't really need, so we'll go ahead and remove them. That does break the alignment a bit, but we can easily fix it by setting the width to auto. Next, we'll add some padding to the buttons since we'll be tagging them using the UiChemy plugin as Elementor button widgets. Also, keep in mind, Figma's height settings won't reflect in Elementor, as Elementor doesn't support fixed height for buttons. So, by removing extra frames now, we make the tagging and export process much smoother. I recommend avoiding the use of min and max width or height in Figma because Elementor doesn't support those settings. It's best to remove them to avoid layout issues later. Now that we've finished the necessary design optimizations, we're ready to start tagging the layout with Elementor widgets. To get started, first select the design you want to export, then open the UiChemy plugin. You can double-check the selected design before moving ahead. Now, let's choose the Optimize method. Under the Widget Tags section, you'll find both Elementor's basic widgets and Pro widgets. We'll apply tagging to the appropriate layouts across the entire design. Let's start with the button. Just click on the button. Frame it should have text and background properties. Once you select it, UiChemy will automatically detect the text. If there's an icon inside the button, it will show up here. If not, we'll just leave it as it is. You can also add a link if needed. For now, I'm just adding a hash symbol since it's not required. Now, click the Save button to apply the tag. I'll go ahead and tag all the buttons across the entire design. Many users often ask us how to tag a navigation menu in Elementor. In this video, we'll walk you through how to do just that. You can tag a navigation menu using the menu nested widget from the Elementor Pro plugin. Alternatively, if you're using the free version, the Plus add-ins for Elementor plugin also provides a free navigation menu widget that works well. For this tutorial, we'll use the menu widget from Elementor Pro. First, select the parent frame. Now, you can start adding the menu items. For each item, simply add the name and the page link you want it to redirect to. Once you've added all your menu items and customized the layout as needed, click the Save button. And that's it! Our navigation menu is now successfully tagged. Let's move ahead and find some taggable layouts. In this case, we can tag the layout as an image box widget. The UiChemy plugin will automatically detect the image from the layout. You can also manually select the image, title, and description if needed. Assigning an HTML tag can be done either from your Figma design or later during development. Tagging this kind of layout usually takes less than 10 minutes. It's quick and straightforward. Just make sure your design is set up with auto layout, the frames are well structured, and everything is properly optimized before you start tagging. Next, we have a counter on the design, but right now, it's just plain text. To tag it properly, we first need to separate the digit value from the suffix. Here's how. We'll duplicate the text, then adjust each one, removing the suffix from the first text to keep only the number, and removing the number from the second text to keep just the suffix. Now we have two separate text layers, one for the digit and one for the suffix. This allows us to tag it easily as a counter widget. Next, we need to set up the counter, select the ending number, enter a title. If needed, you can also set the starting value. If there's a prefix, you can select that too. Then choose the suffix, in this case, it's K+. Once that's done, the counter is successfully tagged. I'll repeat this tagging process again to demonstrate. But remember, before tagging, always separate the number and suffix first. And that's it. We're done tagging the counters. Next, we have an accordion layout. Elementor provides an accordion nested widget, which we'll use for tagging. To keep things organized and avoid confusion, let's start by renaming this accordion layout. This will help us easily identify the main frames during tagging. Now, to begin tagging, first, select the main frame of the accordion. From the list, choose the frame labeled Accordion 01. Inside this frame, we have a vector, which will be used as the icon. The Accordion 01 frame includes two text elements, one for the title and the other for the description. Since the plugin can't automatically detect which is which, we'll manually select the title here. Let me go ahead and complete the tagging. The description will need to be added manually after exporting to Elementor, and I'll show you how to do that once we reach the export step. Also, make sure that styling properties are applied only to the selected frames. If multiple frames are selected or styles are inconsistent, those styles may not carry over correctly into Elementor. Let's start by correcting the frame structure. We'll remove the unnecessary wrap frame as it's not required for this layout. Now, we want to tag this layout as an icon list. However, the icon list widget doesn't support auto-gapping, so we'll need to manually adjust the spacing. To do that, we'll change the auto-gap to a fixed value of 145 pixels. This ensures the spacing is preserved correctly when exported to Elementor. Once that's done, we're ready to proceed with tagging this section as an icon list. Let's start by selecting all of these parent frames. Now, we'll remove the min width constraint and set the width of the parent frames to hug content. We are making these adjustments in Figma because certain Figma features aren't fully supported by Elementor. If we skip this step and export the design directly to Elementor, there's a high chance the layout won't match the original Figma design, which could lead to inconsistencies or user dissatisfaction. So, to get the best possible outcome during export and maintain visual accuracy, we're adjusting the design in Figma with Elementor's limitations in mind. Now the layout is ready for tagging. First, we'll choose the layout direction and set it to horizontal. The text elements are auto-selected. Since we don't have any icons in this layout, we'll leave that section as is. Finally, click the Save button to finish the tagging. First, we'll remove the unnecessary wrap frame and check the alignment of the icons. Next, I've selected all 3 frames containing the vector icons and I'm applying the background color. You can either set it to transparent or use white to match the design's background. If we leave the fill property empty and export it to Elementor, Elementor will apply its default background color, which we'd have to update manually later. To avoid that, we'll apply the correct color directly in Figma so the styling is preserved during export. Now, let's locate the social icons widget in the plugin and tag it by clicking on the Save button. And that's it, we've successfully tagged the social icons widget. Finally, we've tagged all the possible layouts using Elementor widgets. The next step before exporting is to go to the Global Styles feature. Under the Global Styles section, we need to select the site where we want to export our global colors and global typography. In my case, the site is already selected, so the plugin automatically loads the existing container box with global colors and typography settings from that site. Let's start with the global container boxed width. We'll first verify the container width in our design here. It's set to 960 pixels. So, we'll update this value accordingly under the global container boxed width field. Here, the global colors and global typography have been automatically loaded from the site we selected earlier. Now, we need to select all the colors and typography used in this design. It's easy to manually pick colors from the list like this, and if needed, we can also add a new color by clicking the Add New button. Or, to speed things up, we can use the Pick All button. This will automatically pull all the colors used from variables, styles, and the document. Let me do the same process for typography as well. And one more thing, you can also rename the global color or typography names if you want to keep your styles more organized before exporting. I've now selected the global colors and typography, and I've also updated the container box width. As we can see, the Sync button indicates that we've made 19 unsynced changes. Let's go ahead and click Sync. By syncing, all these global settings are now successfully updated to the selected site. Now, let's move ahead and convert the entire design. We'll choose the Live Import option. Under Live Import, it automatically selects the same site we chose earlier in the Global Style section. The plugin also comes with pre-selected import settings, so you don't have to configure them manually every time. Within Import Settings, there are 2 options: New, which is selected by default. Existing, this gives you 2 more choices. Replace replaces your existing page with the new design, and Add On adds the new design into your existing page layout. Under the Export to option, you can choose between exporting to pages or Elementor templates, helpful if you want to export the header or footer separately. For now, we'll go with the default settings and click the Next button to start the import. Keep in mind, the process might take some time if your images are large in size, so we recommend compressing your images before exporting to speed things up. So our design has been successfully uploaded to Elementor. Let's go ahead and check the preview. As we can see, all the tagged layouts have been accurately converted into Elementor widgets just as expected. Now, let's switch to the backend to make a few post-conversion edits within the Elementor editor. We've spent a few minutes tagging the layout, and that has really paid off. Now, we don't need to remove any structure or layout, nor do we have to drag and drop any widgets to replace them. In the navigation menu, we can easily add a drop-down menu or update any menu with just a few clicks. We've also got image boxes and working countersits looking pretty great so far. In the accordion, we just need to add the description. Let me show you a trick on how to get your description from the Figma design to Elementor without needing to export the entire design. Simply go to Figma, then head to the home screen in the plugin. Next, select the description from Figma. In the plugin, you'll see that the description is now selected. Then, choose the Express method and click on the Convert button. Once it's converted, click the Copy to Clipboard button. Trust me, the description is now copied. Now, let's move over to Elementor. Here, right-click on the plus icon, then click on Paste from Other Site and paste the description. Wow, we've got our description here with the same color and typography as the Figma design. Now, we can make a few minor modifications, like removing the default border from the container to make it match the design. Let me go ahead and add the descriptions to the rest of the accordion slides. Let's adjust the accordion's icon position now. We can also change the icon itself and update its size as needed. In the same way, we can make these kinds of minor adjustments after exporting from Figma to Elementor. UiChemy has easily saved me around 80% of the time compared to building the entire design from scratch in Elementor. Now, let's go ahead and check the tablet responsive view to see how the design adapts across different screen sizes. Responsive views, we may need to make a few adjustments, especially to the container's width and layout direction. In some cases, Elementor applies wrap by default, which can break the alignment. To fix this, we'll disable the wrap setting and adjust the container widths so that the elements stay on the same line, just like in the original design. UiChemy has successfully exported the entire design with global colors and global typography already applied, so there's no need to manually configure them. As you can see, the global typography we just synced from Figma is already set up here, and we still have the flexibility to change it if needed. The same goes for global colors. Everything is pre-configured and ready to go. This plugin is truly making our workflow much easier, saving us time and ensuring consistency across the design. Next, we have the image boxes. I'll show you how to fix their layout in just a few seconds. First, select one image box widget, then go to the Advanced tab. Under the Advanced tab, adjust the width, keeping in mind that the parent container has wrap enabled. Once that's done, simply copy the styled image box and use paste style on the remaining image boxes. And just like that, we've quickly fixed the layout across all the info boxes. The same approach can be used to clean up and manage the rest of the layout efficiently. Now, let's switch to the mobile screen view and check the responsiveness there. In the mobile responsive view, we can see that the layout is a bit misaligned. Let's quickly fix this by disabling or removing the wrap property from the container. When switching to tablet or mobile views, Elementor automatically applies wrap to container, so if it's not needed, we just remove it to restore alignment. Next, let's fix the header section. We want to hide these two buttons to clean up the layout, so we'll go ahead and hide them. Then, we'll adjust the width of the remaining elements to make everything fit nicely on one line. This is how we can handle width-related issues during responsive adjustments. So that's it. We've seen how powerful UiChemy has done most of the heavy lifting for us. As long as you understand a few Figma basics, UiChemy takes care of the rest. Widget tagging, box layout structure, global colors and typography, and even about 80% responsive support out of the box. You can also use UiChemy to create smaller sections by using the copy to clipboard feature, quick and efficient. And that wraps up our walkthrough. We took a design from Google Stitch AI, brought it into Figma, and exported it to Elementor using UiChemy without rebuilding from scratch. From widget tagging and global styles to responsive layouts and quick tweaks, UiChemy streamlined the whole process. It's a powerful tool that saves time and keeps your design consistent. If you found this helpful, like, share or drop your questions in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.